My name is Greta, and I am a YouTube content creator and a yogi myself. And before we jump into our live session, I just wanted to remind you all that the main goal and purpose of our festival is to raise funds for charities such as Gunj that are currently helping the migrant workers here in India suffering due to pandemic. During this live session, I would like to invite you all and encourage you to head down to Ira Yoga Wellness page on Facebook and donate there. If you choose to donate, not only that you will be helping these people, but you also will be entering a very exciting prize giveaways. In this live session, I'm delighted to present our honored guest, famous Dr. Mehta, a global leading holistic health guru and a corporate life coach who has worked with very long list of celebrities. I'm not even going to start naming them. We are so happy to have you here with us today, Dr. Mickey. And before we start
Oh,
our
thank
interview, I would like to ask our audience to comment any questions that you may have for Dr. Mickey during this live session on Facebook Live comments, as we will be choosing the best question winners and they will have an opportunity to win Dr. Mickey's hand-signed copy book, Shunyam Kotant.
you.
So welcome, Dr. Mickey. Thank you so much for tuning in with us here today. How are you doing
Pleasure
today?
is, pleasure is mine, absolutely, Greta. Pleasure is mine. And anything for the cause
Thank
and
you.
support of charity, and anything for yoga,
Yeah.
anything for Inga, and anything for Greta.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet. So basically today our topic is the invincible immunity, as you put it yourself. Okay, so that's what we're
Right.
gonna start with today. So my first and number one question that I have for you today is, can you please tell us what immunity exactly is? Is it something we are born with and is predecided genetically, or is it something that we can build up? And if yes, can you please share any tips you may have and tell us what role does the immunity play, in yoga, pranayama, and so on?
So we must understand that each human is born with a predetermined genetic disposition. So you bring down the genes of your ancestors. But the modern science of epigenetics tells you that you need not manifest them all just in case you're born with negative genes of diabetes,
Mm,
hypertension, cancer, and various other, disorders. So with your conscious
yeah.
behavior, with your conscious intervention, you can change the landscape of your gene expression by building new memories with new lifestyle habits, new food habits, regulated breath habits, proper
Hmm.
postures, dynamic postures, proper postures of yoga, empowering the mind, improving spontaneity, improving circulation, establishing the rhythm of the heart, establishing the flow of your endocrine system, sorting out your digestive system, increasing the power of your lungs, conditioning your heart, and sharpening your nervous system, and you can keep going on. So, by doing these things,
Hmm.
even if you're born with a weak immunity, your immunity can get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So,
Wow, that's
food
amazing.
food influences your immunity and as much as breath. So, breath influences your immunity primarily. Number two, food influences your immunity. Number three, your exposure to sunshine and nature, natural elements. They can increase your immunity. Number four, number five, your mental disposition improves your immunity. So, positivity, creativity, productivity, optimism improves your immunity. Also,
Hmm.
a very good night's sleep, laughter, singing improves immunity. A state of joy, meditation improves immunity because all these things translate into a better hormonal behavior. So, if we want our
Wow.
hormones to be heightened and work at the optimal level, we ought to take sunshine, breathe consciously regulated, exercise and challenge our body in a very regulated way through yoga. Our mindset has to be very positive. We should embrace music, creativity, art, culture, poetry, then meditation, prayer, then visualization, affirmations, then eating green, natural, vegetarian, wholesome food, embracing Ayurveda in terms of Abhyangam, which means taking, stimulating marma points and taking good oil rubs. Then, of course, doing Nasya, nose oil drops into your nose, improving your ENT functions, your neural firing. Then doing
What kind of
pranayama.
oil?
So we
What
can
kind of
use
oil you
oils
said
like,
about this?
yeah, cold pressed coconut oil. We can use A2 cow's ghee. That's very, very
Mm-hmm.
good for very, very good for ENT immunity and very good for
Okay.
otherwise immunity also. And most importantly, consuming A2 cow's ghee to oleate your guts because we need good microbiomes in our body. We need good
Mm-hmm.
microbiota in our body. And otherwise, I would say eating loads of veggies, loads of fruits, loads of dry fruits, nuts, loads of seeds, roots, herbs, and having
Herbs.
various decoctions of herbal teas and various kinds
Uh,
of fruit juices and vegetable juices, seasonal, regional. But the most powerful of all is prayer, pranayam, yoga, rest, Shirodhara, Abhyangam. So, all sciences put together, we can come to a science which says that our belief can change our biology, and we can certainly say our faith can change our physiology. Breathing,
wow.
breathing and meditation can change your psychology, hormonology. Okay?
Wow, that's amazing.
And yeah, of course. And breathing meditation can also change your psychology. So, right from your biology, physiology, hormonology, and psychology could be taken care by faith, belief system, breathing, meditation, all collectively put together. And you could be in a heightened state of immunity, the immunity which keeps growing, the immunity which doesn't allow disease to touch you, the immunity which doesn't even allow disease to get close to you. It creates a shield and aura of absolute positivity and makes you super strong. And you're always climbing on the ladder of evolution in health, healing, wellness, well being.
Mm-hmm. Wow, these are awesome tips. And I just wanted to come back to one of the points. So you actually touched, I prepared quite a few questions for you, and you actually, in
Yeah.
one question, you managed to touch almost all of these things. So since we have a little bit of time, of course, I want to go a little bit more depth and question you a little bit more. Now, one interesting point that you mentioned about this nasal drops and also, obviously, I know about the nasal cleansing. So I heard about what I do nasal neti with the salt water, right? So people do
Yeah.
it usually with salt water, but I was reading as well as you mentioned that people do it with ghee and all this kind of things. But I was wondering, how does it exactly affect our respiratory system? What is the difference, for example, doing nasal cleansing with water and salt, and what is the difference doing this with ghee or oil? Can you please like tell us a little bit more? I think that we're
So,
yogis, we are know about these things, but for a lot of people, this is something new, I
certainly,
think.
certainly. So, jal neti to be done with little of salt. So, jal
Hmm.
neti in the absence of oil and ghee. So if you don't have oil and ghee
Okay.
available, jal neti is fine with little salinity
Hmm.
inside. So it clears your nasal passage, your sinuses,
Okay.
it clears your adenoids, it drains your lymph from behind your nose, and it also fires up neurons for new memory building of creating a new defense mechanism and also an
Hmm.
alert system to tell you when germs enter. So that's
Okay.
so when we, especially in winters, we should oleate our nasal passage. So that is the time we do coconut oil or sesame oil, or that is the time we use ghee. So oleation. So I would say that we must alternate between saline water and cold pressed oils and ghee. We must alternate. Okay, so a day
Okay.
of
I
this and a day
understand.
of that. So that will really
Uh-huh.
help. And this is primarily to, also make your respiratory tract breathe better. because your nose is the apparatus of primary breathing.
Yeah, that's true.
So your immunity to infections which would enter through the nose is heightened with all these kriyas. So
Mm-hmm.
now you can do your kriyas even without doing any nose nasal drops, or that is called nasyam. So you can do
Mm-hmm.
frictional vigorous breathing like now. This breathing, when done in with a very controlled, calibrated way, creates a lot of thermogenesis heat in your sinuses. And
Okay.
when this heat crosses 96 degrees, the chances of germs and bacteria getting killed are very, very high.
Wow.
Also, if they are already lodged in your respiratory system, you can quell them off.
Wow, that's
Also,
really amazing.
also with this breathing, the adenoids placed behind your nasal passage, they get drained if they are choked.
Mm-hmm.
So, so this opens up your respiratory tract, this empties your lungs, this empowers your lungs again, all the five lobes. So your two on your left and three on your right are emptied of the toxic gases, and you fill them up with all
Wow.
the fresh oxygen. And this
Wow.
oxygen laden blood then goes to your stomach, then it goes to all your cells, all your organs, and it
Mm-hmm.
improves the immunity, resistance, and it gives you a lot of vitality. So, increasing vitality improves immunity. Then,
Wow, that's amazing.
meditation allows you to settle down. Meditation allows the agitation to translate into harmony, acrimony to translate into harmony. A disturbed mind will come into order. A disorder of the body will fall back in order in meditation. So the
Mm-hmm.
conflict between your two minds, your logical and your compassionate mind, also is brought down in order in Shunyam quotient. Zero. So zero down your temperament, zero down your agitation, zero down your conflict, zero down your duality, and bring oneness. So
Wow, that's beautiful.
when that happens, once again your hormones secrete the state of joy hormones, happy hormones, energy hormones, immunomodulators. So meditation is also very important. Anulom Vilom, alternate nostril breathing. That is also good because you balance your Chandra Surya, your doshas, and you balance the temperature of the body.
Hmm.
So that also eases and secretes your good hormones and allows your immunomodulators to flow freely. So, laughter, prayer, singing, meditation can release T cells, B cells, immunomodulators, which are very good in combating degenerative diseases. Otherwise, your happy hormones, love hormones, oxytocin, endorphins, serotonin, all these hormones are very, very good for feel good factor, super health, super healing happening inside, and soothing your nervous system as well.
So now let's talking about the hormones. I know I think that especially the younger generation, I feel like maybe because there's so much hormones actually injected in the foods, especially I educated myself a little bit on like the dairy industry. So I know that in Ayurveda and in India, like a dairy is such a natural part of the culture. Even where I'm coming from Lithuania, and actually my culture is somewhat very similar to the Vedic culture, the way used to people live in the back in the day. Even my grandmother, she had a cow, and we had a fresh milk supply. So that is, I know, obviously great and super healthy. But I know that, nowadays, especially maybe in other countries outside of India where the industries of dairy and other industries are not so healthy. I feel like there's so much hormones, especially people that are consuming meat. And that is the next topic that I also wanted to get into and ask about your own personal diet. I know you're always saying go green. So, what role does hormones play in our health and well-being, and how does food, interact with these things? Could you please tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, so the primary functions of hormones are also regulated by sunlight.
Is it? I didn't knew this.
So we must take a lot of sunlight. I consume breath for breakfast and sunlight for breakfast first. That's the first
Nice.
thing I do. So my hormone regulatory system is jump started with lots of breath and lots of sunlight. And then of course
Mm-hmm.
lots of decoctions of lots of herbal teas. Then of course
Mm-hmm.
nasal drops, eye drops, everything going, drops in my navel, and of course oil on my body. So I regulate my hormones internally and externally with all the stimulations. Now coming to food, I am absolute vegetarian, a big fan of vegetarianism for ethical, intelligent, and sensible choices of food. And vegetarian foods heal you, they regulate you, they cleanse you, they fortify you. So vegetables heal you, vegetables cleanse you also, fruits and vegetables heal you and cleanse you also. Nuts, seeds, dry fruits fortify you, herbs fortify you. So combination of all these can give you super health and make you superhuman and give you super
Wow.
energy. Now, mind you, I'm telling you energy. I'm not saying strength because humans don't need as much strength as we imagine.
Mm-hmm.
We need little strength to walk. We need strength to sit up, talk, lift up things, do exercise. Little. But we need more energy for the function of the heart, function of the organs, function of our cognitive strengths, function of our lungs, heart, intestines, digestive processes, processes of the liver, glycogen management, pancreas management, renal functions. We need energy for nervous system. So yoga focuses on energy because yoga focuses on internal well-being.
Mm-hmm.
Western exercises focuses on external well-being, muscle strength.
Yeah.
So no Western exercise can ever put your renal function in order, put your lungs in order, put your digestion in order, but yoga can put it in order and renew your organs and make them fresh again.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that sounds really amazing. And now when you say about the vegetarian diet, for
Yeah.
example, there's some people, especially in the West, some of my friends as well, they think that, like some people say eggs are vegetarian and some say are not. What is your opinion on eating eggs?
On
Strict
eating
no
eggs.
or yeah.
So eggs
From like,
come in the
nutritional sense and also from like ethical or whatever
okay.
spiritual.
So from nutritional sense standpoint, eggs only serve 90% the purpose of your muscle mass, strength in the body,
Mm-hmm.
that protein
Mm-hmm.
part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when it comes to healing part, they don't serve any purpose. But as
Okay.
opposed to nuts, walnuts, sesame seeds, pine nuts, ground nuts, they give you energy and they give you strength both, and they have healing properties as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they give you protein, but the source of protein is clean. The egg source of
Okay.
protein is not 100% clean.
Uh-huh. Okay, I
So
understand.
avoid it the better, but better not in summer at all. In summer, absolutely not, but otherwise avoid it the better.
Uh-huh. Okay, I understand. And now talking about your diet, would you be able to tell us how does your actual like ideal diet consist? And do you think there is such thing as universally perfect diet for all, or do you think this is, something individual in the end of the day? Do you feel like everybody maybe have different needs, or is
So
there something that you can recommend for everyone?
yeah, so Ayurveda says that there is no one solution that fit all of
Mm,
you. Okay, the solution should be tailor made and customized. And
yeah.
so the food and should be constitution specific, personality, character specific also. Especially medicine should be character and personality specific, but food should be, I would say, species specific. So species specific
Okay.
food is green, lean,
Okay.
not mean. And so lots of complete plant-based diet. which is unpreserved, unprocessed. So my typical day starts with lots of ghee, chawanprash, lots of herbal teas, and then lots of fruits. So my fruits are dates, bananas, pomegranate, then muskmelon, honeydew melon, watermelon. So seasonal fruits, oranges. I eat loads of fruits. Till lunch, I only have fruits. In lunch,
Okay.
I would have a soup. I would have a vegetable, grilled vegetable, and a salad most of the times. Very rarely rice, and very rarely a chapati. And
Mm-hmm.
dal sometimes as a soup, moong dal as a soup. My dinners are also like mushrooms, carrots, beans, soup, maybe cauliflower cutlets, maybe moong dal cutlets, maybe rajma cutlets. So this is how I work on my dinner and my lunch. Most of the time, I go on one meal a day plan, and otherwise, I manage with fruits and sesame seed laddus, and I would have lotus seeds, etc.
Okay. That's nice. Sounds like a feasible, but some of my friends, especially, I feel like I hear this a lot of times from the guys, they're not willing to go for vegetarian diet because there's so much preaching that, meat is the best source of protein and you need so much protein. And people worry that if they switch to green foods, if they switch to vegetarian options, they're thinking they will not get enough protein, or then people overconsume dairy, they start to get skin problems, hormonal problems. So you seem like you're glowing, full of health, and you're super, you're looking like in the best shape possible, and you feel always energetic and glowing. So I guess from your, as a male perspective, what you can say to these guys who are saying that, oh, I can't go vegetarian because my muscles, I'll lose my muscles. Is it possible to
No,
gain muscles on vegetarian diet? Awesome. Everybody take a screenshot.
and this is not eating like an animal. I eat very little,
Aha.
and I don't have many meals, and I eat very little. So muscle conditioning, muscle training is more important than feeding it with
Mm-hmm.
animal food. So your
Mm.
pull-ups, your parallel bars, your yoga postures, your Surya Namaskars, your planks, your bicep squeezes, which you can do without weights also.
Yeah.
So all that is very good. So you can use tubes, you can use TheraBands to complement 10% of your exercise for muscle tone. You don't need to
Mm-hmm.
look like an animal. You don't need to look like an animal. Women like
That's
lean men. Women like lean men. Very, very few. I would say 10% of women like huge men. They get
yeah.
scared of huge men. I mean,
That's
they
true.
don't like huge men. So
Yeah.
sensible women, discerning and sensitive women, they always like lean, striated, muscular, athletic
Mm.
men. And similarly,
Mm.
men certainly don't like, weight trained women, heavy into weight training.
Mm.
Men also like normal, simple, well-rounded, healthy women. You cannot, you
Mm.
cannot feel attracted to an anorexic woman.
Mm.
So a
That's
woman has
true.
to eat well, not starve. You have to eat well. And you don't have to exercise to the point that the last ounce of flab is dissolved. You have to
Yeah.
have your basic 18, 19 fat percentage, which is good, healthy.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Okay?
I highly
So
agree with you.
there is so much of health on your face. You have nice cheeks, which is healthy. You have a great color. And because you eat well, because you're not desperate to lose weight, and you're not obsessed with being size zero.
Yeah.
Size zero is unhealthy.
That's true. I highly agree with you. I feel like, these trends are usually coming from women looking at each other and from men comparing them again to each other, rather than thinking what is actually the other sex is thinking, about the other one.
So,
So I totally
so
agree
when,
with you, yeah.
so when Titanic came up, Kate Winslet just looked so perfect and attractive.
Yeah,
She was
that's
not a
true.
body 10. She didn't have a model ramp
Yeah.
walks body.
Mm.
Perfect, but a perfect healthy woman, you know? A perfect
Yeah.
healthy man and a perfect healthy woman don't need to overwork like an animal to get into the best shape of life. You need to work smart,
Yeah.
not like a mule. You don't have to work hard like a
That's
donkey.
true.
You have to work
That's true.
smart, intelligently, and keep your body in shape. Have lots of energy. Improve your stamina by stimulating your lungs, not running like a horse for kilometers and kilometers. Why do we run towards and what do we run away from? So so
Yeah.
long marathons, they destroy your musculoskeletal structure, they deplete you in energy. Long marathons. Anything more than
Mm-hmm.
5-7 kilometers done more than 3 times a week is detrimental for the musculoskeletal structure.
Mm.
In 1960s, early 1960s or 62, when Dr. Kenneth Cooper came out with aerobics, little did he know that 30, 40 years down the line, there'll be hundreds and thousands of cases of knee replacement.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
heard this is very common amongst runners. That is true, and I am myself, I'm not so much into running. That's why I love yoga. I feel like yoga is just such a balanced exercise. You stretch and you build, strength. And I feel like so many people, a lot of times, especially guys, they say, they have this, I don't know, somehow, at least in the West, maybe here in India is less, maybe because people are really familiar with this practice, but there's so much misconception, people saying, oh, I'm not flexible at all, so I can't do yoga. But I always tell people that it's about bringing the balance, and that's the beauty of yoga practice. Now,
So
another question that, yeah, sorry,
actually,
sorry
yoga,
to interrupt.
yoga, I would say, take the word practice out. That's for the beginners. But for
Uh-huh.
yoga, the way of life, it is not
Yeah, that's
practice.
true.
It is being yoga.
Yeah, it's exactly the name of our festival. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And now coming to our next question, I wanted to say that nowadays, as I said, people oftentimes perceive yoga as just a physical exercise, and a lot of people are either unaware or unable to understand what other effects the practice of yoga may have on the mind and consciousness. Can you please tell us what is the highest
Okay.
potential for this Asian practice and why do we
Okay.
practice it? Not from the physical level, but now something higher. Is it possible?
So what happens when in yoga you sit in a posture? You're holding the posture and
Hmm.
you're holding the posture inside, outside, from inwards to outwards. So you get integrated. Now let's look at a chakrasana, a bridge posture.
Hmm.
So in a chakrasana, your focal point is your center because from the center the support system goes out. You hold
Hmm.
you hold yourself on the ground against the gravity, uplifted from the center. So first thing is strength is being applied, being developed internally. It is not the strength of the huge muscles. It's the strength of the core. So that strength is growing. Now for that strength to grow, your focal point in the mind should be on your navel. So when your mind is in now on the navel, the mind is not anxiety driven with thoughts and desires and fear phobia. So it's good for the mind because mind is empty, full of consciousness. So now when you're holding a posture, you need tolerance to hold it. Physical tolerance, endurance to hold the posture. So that is growing. Then
Hmm.
you need patience to hold the posture for 2, 3, 5, 6 minutes. So tolerance grows, your core strength grows, patience grows. Then you need tenacity. When your muscles get stretched, your muscles get tenacious. So once again, you develop tenacity. So as a personality also you develop tenacity. As a personality you develop resilience. So everything that is happening to the body happens to your character and personality. So core strength to your character and personality, agility to your character and personality, resilience, tenacity to your character and personality, tolerance and patience comes to your character and personality. So yoga translates into making you evolved, transforming
Hmm.
you as a leader. It gives you vision. It gives you flow. It gives you a rhythm. So with rhythm and flow comes vision. With vision comes creativity and productivity. Then with that comes empathy, sympathy, compassion, philanthropy. So yoga makes you a very soft, sweet, sensitive, powerful, creative, visionary leader.
Wow, well, I don't even need to convince me. I already been practicing yoga for many years, but I hope that people are listening to this and really getting more inspired to just jump on a mat right after this conversation and go practice it. And now another question, actually, you touched this already in the beginning of the topic, and I wanted to expand it a little bit more, getting more on the topic of the consciousness and the power of human mind. So I wanted to ask you how our mindset or the power of thoughts and beliefs affect our body. Is it possible to change our physical appearance simply with the power of mind? I've read something about the law of attraction, and people were saying, if you just put up a picture of the body you want, and every time you look at that picture, you just feel as if you already have that body, your body has a chance, like a miracle, can just change without even you having to exercise. Do you think that is possible, or do you think this is
Okay.
like a myth?
So, so the power of intention is today validated by quantum physics and science,
Uh-huh.
the power of intention. Because quantum physics says that everything is an invisible energy field and we are all woven together as a fabric. There is no
Mm,
disconnect between a human and a rock and a tree, and a water and a human, and a star and the earth. There is no disconnect. This is a state of oneness. So, yoga has been talking about this oneness, and the power of intention magnifies with the power of oneness. So what
mm,
happens when you intend something, when you put your attention on your body gets energized. When you put intention on your body begins to transform. So which means your hormones will begin to behave, which means your basic metabolic structure will begin to behave, and your speed of metabolism will begin to behave. The rate of metabolism will get better regulated. Your heart will begin to behave, your digestive system will begin to behave. Now, where will it go all wrong? When your body will begin to behave, but you don't support it by doing exercise, then you will not accelerate and achieve it faster and better. What happens
mm,
where it goes wrong is when you don't support it with good food. So when you don't support it with faith in action, faith in behavior, then your intention can only go as far. But when intention, attention, action, faith in action is integrated and well orchestrated, then the full manifestation happens. Now, if you
wow.
sit in one position and say, I want to go to heaven, doesn't work. You have to purify your breath, you have to purify your physiology, you have to purify your mind, you have to purify your intestines, your digestive system, you have to purify your karma, and then, of course, you'll be able to go to heaven, but just not with
Mm,
intention. Just with
yeah.
intention, you will probably get closer, but you will still
Yeah.
fall short of achieving it. You will still fall short of
Mm,
achieving it. But with faith in
mm,
action, so let's say I want to see a sunrise, but you will back the sunrise and sit. You will back the east. If you face the east and then you say, I want to see a sunrise, it will happen to you.
uh-huh. That's such a brilliant example, and I can totally relate with what you say from my own experience. Actually, my yoga journey has started with meditation, and I dive in when I was 17. I started with Vipassana meditation, which is like probably you know about Vipassana for people who never heard about it. It's like very intense, 11 days of silence meditation. I did that very young age, and I started to get really into meditation, and actually as a course of that, I actually, after some years of practicing, I started to feel like, it just wasn't getting me to that final goal. And I felt like something was missing. And then I became more aware of my diet. And then I got into yoga asanas. And I really now, as I continue my journey 8 years later, I realize that it's really about bringing that whole picture and that, full, complete package, as you say, mindset, heart set, soul set, food and everything that you do. So I am so, so, so agreeing with everything you say. And So we're gonna just jump quickly. 1 second, we will start with the questions. There's a lot of questions coming from our live audience. But before we get into that, I just wanted to quickly just touch on your book as well a little bit. I actually didn't had enough time to read the book, but I had a chance to just look through it, through its contents, and what something have seemed very interesting for me that you mentioned something like cosmic consciousness. So I wanted to ask you,
Yes.
what is cosmic consciousness and how does it differ from personal or human consciousness? Because I think that this is something that people hear as well in yoga, and in these kind of topics. So can you please talk a little bit more about what is cosmic consciousness?
So, one is clinical consciousness, that you
Mm-hmm.
are alive and that you can see things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, cosmic consciousness is about seeing things which are not visible,
Mm.
reading
Like.
things which are not visible. Like intuition is cosmic consciousness. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're well meditated, when you're well prayed, when you're well focused deep inside, when you're well clean deep inside, when your mind is completely clean and clear of thoughts, you perceive extra sensory perception, and something happens of the similar kind in the next 1 hour. You dream and you wake up in the morning and you get a call from a person you dreamt about.
Happens all the time.
Okay. Okay. Now, you you are going to board a train and you get a hunch and you don't board that train, and 2 hours later you realize that it is met with an accident. You choose a taxi or a rickshaw just by your impulse, and later on realize that some taxi or rickshaw in the same vicinity met with an accident.
Mm.
Okay, so cosmic consciousness is extension of your consciousness into the cosmic consciousness and perceiving everything that is happening in the cosmos in the form of energy and information, tapping into the intelligence of the cosmos, because your apparatus of your mind, soul, body is clean, sharp, attentive, receptive, full of and open minded, not full of doubt. People who doubt cannot get this. People who are in fear will not get this, will get very little of it. But people who live in
Mm-hmm.
faith, people who live in self confidence, Atma Vishwas, Manobal, Atma Gyan, they will get it. So when you do purification through your breath, through food, through Yoga Nidra, through meditation, through japa, through tapa, through yoga asanas, even through yoga asanas, you can connect with cosmic consciousness, because our sacred geometry becomes congruent with the geometry of the universe. And we exchange signals of energy and information. So the pineal gland receives the signals and the pituitary gland sends the signals. So you can receive
Mm-hmm.
and send signals. So this is what the leading scientist Bruce Lipton is now discovering, that
Mm-hmm.
all our glands are sensitive to information and energy. So Dr. Roger Penrose and Dr. Dean Ornish are doing a lot of research on human consciousness with human biology. And they are finding stupendous results, like in intending and transforming, believe and change your biology. So human consciousness can become cosmic consciousness if it is refined, if it is cleansed, if it is empowered with prayer, meditation, and yoga asanas, and
Mm-hmm.
sattvic food, food with sattvic guna, sattva guna, guna of righteousness, guna of creativity, creativity, qualities of righteousness, qualities of productivity. So on the ladder of evolution, you can gain a lot of cosmic consciousness and rise above gods or fall below animals. Only humans have the potential and the capability of rising above gods and falling below animals. So yoga makes you rise above gods. And everything that you do that destroys you will make you fall below animals. So pride, anger, lust, envy, gluttony, avarice, sloth will make you fall below animals. Okay, now let's see the opposite. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dhyan, Dharana, Samadhi will make you climb the ladder of consciousness, go beyond gods. So you can be a god, you can be a saint or profane. You choose what you want. Choose evolution or choose entropy. Death has no right on life. Death is a culmination of disease. Disease is a culmination of your choices. Keep choosing, and you will not die to disorder, disease, malfunction, ailment, decay, and death. You will, like a yogi, transmigrate, transform, and simply reform the form of your energy. Energy is indestructible. Weapons cannot cleave it, wind cannot dry it, water cannot wet it, earth cannot bury it, and fire cannot burn it. So you can choose to take the clean form whichever you want in the next life. If you achieve 100% cleansing, you can have Ichha Jivan and Ichha Mrityu. Asatoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityoma Amrutum Gamaya. Asatoma Sadgamaya means that from non-truth to truth, from illusion to truth. Okay? Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, from ignorance, from darkness to light. And Mrityoma Amrutam Gamaya, from death to eternity.
Wow, that is so beautiful. And I think that we could like go on and on and on. I have billions of questions as you talk. Really interesting talking to you, but I think I'm gonna let our audience right now to also ask you a couple of questions because I'm getting a lot of questions here on Facebook Live.
Please.
So let's see what do people wanna ask you, okay? Um, so okay, now Anshal is asking, so what do you actually would say? Like, I know you said you're a vegetarian, but there are so many people nowadays, especially in US and especially like in American countries and European countries, veganism is becoming like a really big thing. But I also follow a lot of, since I'm a social media influencer and YouTuber, like I follow a lot of vegan people who've been like vegans, like really hardcore vegans and really balanced, healthy vegans for like more than 10 years. And I'm seeing more and more videos of people saying how they had to switch back to eating animal products because simply, you know, they started to get some kind of nutrient deficiencies, some kind of problems. So what do you actually say? Like, would you say that veganism is a good option, or do you think that only in rare cases this can work for people?
Okay. So, provided and subject to you get good variety and choices of vegan food around you, veganism is the most ideal way of life. Okay. Now, I'll give you a contrary view. Okay. But it is not actually contradicting. It's a contrary view, but not actually contradicting. If you have a cow which is blessed and not abused, a cow which is worshipped and not abused with hormones and antibiotics, and it is free range. If you get to consume that cow milk, that cow ghee, and that cow products, it is healthy. But if not, try and be a vegan. That's number one. But those vegans who come back to animal products are weak in mind, or lust of food takes over, weakens them, and breaks them down. So consciousness should prevail over instincts. Okay,
Yeah.
instinctively we were meat eaters when we were animals. Our perversion, our lust, our greed for food will constantly keep taking us there. So
Yeah.
veganism is ideal if you can sustain it with the choice of foods available to you, and if you have a healthy mix of nutrients, you will have the best health as a vegan. But if you don't take a healthy mix of nutrients, like if you avoid your seeds, avoid your nuts, if you avoid your legumes, if you avoid your pulses, if you avoid your whole grains, like amaranth, jawar, bajra, your millets, okay, your good quality organic rice, red rice, loads of fruits, loads of seeds, loads of herbs, loads of sprouts. If you avoid them, of course, you're going to be deficient.
Mm-hmm.
Then you will have a good reason to go and eat meat. But if you consume them
Yeah.
all, you will be in the best prime health of your life. So, salute to
Mm.
veganism, salute to vegetarianism.
Awesome. That's a great answer, Dr. Mickey. Now, another question coming in is, what is your take on weightlifting?
Why would you want to lift weight?
I mean, I don't know. I heard from someone, I mean, yoga is great. I feel like it's super balanced and all, but I also heard there are some certain benefits that people get like from weightlifting. Let's say if we talk about back in the day, people used to do a lot of like nowadays we live such a sedentary life, we just go to shop, we buy our products, we get our veggies, we don't have to work any land. There's nothing that we don't have to go cut the logs or anything. Back in the day, there was kind of some kind of natural involvement of some kind of weightlifting, some kind of heavier exercise. So, do you think it should be
Okay.
replaced and balanced with yoga?
So, in yoga, there are exercises where you lift your body weight on the strength of your shoulders, arms, chest, back. Also, when you
Hmm.
do Veerbhadrasana, your lunges,
Hmm.
when you squat, when you do, so all your
Hmm.
complete body can be subjected to body weight
Hmm.
training if you train
Hmm.
smartly. Today, if you
Okay.
see, 75 to 80% of superfit people are letting go of weight training and doing functional training,
What is functional
right?
training?
So functional training is where you do you know you combine paleolithical animal posture movements on your fours,
Uh,
twos, and of course you emulate cutting the logwood, lifting
mhm,
something,
mhm.
placing there. So
Yeah.
like crawling. So you can combine your left side, right side of your brain, left side, right side of the body, muscular coordination, psychoneuromuscular coordination, and do a lot of functional training for super benefits of health. Now, for
Uh-huh.
those who need to do competitive sports and they need to do weight training, no harm. My problem is with people who want to do bodybuilding. If you're doing
Mm.
lightweight training, let's say 10% of your exercise is lightweight training, there's no problem.
Hmm.
But super lightweight training, super lightweight. Not that it is a
Hmm.
must, it's not a necessity, but if that gives you a kick, do it.
Okay.
But don't do heavy weight training, heavy weight lift. Okay, because we don't need to plow fields anymore. We don't need to go to war anymore. We don't need to cut logs anymore. So why do we need so much of strength?
Mm-hmm.
We need a
Yeah,
lot of
that's true.
energy. Focus,
Mm-hmm.
focus your energy on building energy. Focus your
Mm-hmm.
energy on building energy, on generating energy, not building your
Mm-hmm.
body. Building
Mm-hmm.
energy. From within, the dynamo of energy is a human body. All your
Mm-hmm.
pranayams give you great energy. Look at Baba Ramdev, great energy. Look at Sadhguru, Sadhguru ji,
Uh-huh.
great energy. Look at Sri Sri Ravi
Mm-hmm.
Shankar ji, BK Iyengar ji who passed away. Great energy. Look at Ma Hansaji of the Yoga Institute. Look at Ira Trivedi. Great energy. Look at Mickey Mehta. Great energy. Look at Greta Garbo. Great energy.
Great energy and muscle, a bit of a muscle. Awesome, Dr.
And
Mickey. Now I know you talked a lot about the losing weight, and I know that's something not maybe like maybe you're bored on top talking on this topic, but I think there is some Ankita is actually she's asking how to actually lose weight in a healthy and sustainable way. And I know some people that are vegan and they're still really overweight. Like, please tell us like what people are doing wrong. Is this like, do people some just have genetically problems, or like what kind of way to sustain your body lean yet healthy at the same time without having to starve?
okay, so in science, there is something called biological imperatives. There is another science which is autopoiesis. Now, these sciences tell you that your body will find its own natural weight. You simply
Hmm.
allow an environment for it to shape up. Don't be
Mhm.
desperate to lose weight. Eat healthy,
Mhm.
eat right, eat little, exercise healthy, exercise well, sleep well. Your body will gradually get into shape.
Mhm.
Allow your body to fall into shape. Don't push your body for it to shape up. That is aggression with
Mhm.
the body. Okay, so
Okay.
your primary focus should be how do I heal my body? Your primary focus
Mhm.
shouldn't be how do I lose weight?
Mhm.
If your primary focus is how do I heal the body, your weight will be gone, your diseases and ailments will be gone. But if your focus is how I
Mm.
lose weight, you will give rise to diseases and ailments because the modalities you will choose to lose weight will be wrong. Right?
Wow, that's a great answer, and I highly agree with you. I think, we should focus on the right goals, and as you say, if your body is not in the ideal shape, I guess there's something, there's some adjustments, little adjustments that can be made in our lifestyle. Anyways, so I think that we are just running out of time. I love this conversation, and I feel like I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours, and there's so much more questions coming in, but I think we're gonna have to end our session here now as we have another guest coming on board. But I just wanted to say thank you so much, Dr. Mickey, for tuning us with us today and sharing your wisdom and being here holding space for everyone. And I hope that everyone got inspired and just to quickly sum up this session, I wanted to
Okay.
guys remind you that yeah. So please, Dr. Mickey, any last words you may
So,
have for your viewers?
to summarize this, I would like to come up with a William Blake poetry. We are led to
Okay.
believe a lie when we see from and not through the eyes, for we are born in the night to be perished in the night, while our souls rest in the beams of light. So open the eyes of your soul and see everything through the eyes of your soul, and you will see everything in the right perspective. You will get intuitions, you will get foresights, you'll get extrasensory perceptions, you'll get visions, you'll be creative, you'll be productive, you'll be sympathetic, you'll be empathetic, you'll be compassionate, you'll be philanthropic. Let 7 billion hearts throb and beat together to heal the world. Sleep every night with a wish to heal yourself. Wake up every morning with a promise to heal the world. Make wellness your religion number one. Join Dr. Mickey Mehta's Wellness Revolution for Human Evolution. And heights by great men reached and kept were not attained in sudden flights, for they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night. So get energized, get maximized, get optimized, get supersized, get initialized, get specialized, get internalized, get eternalized, get revolutionized, get mesmerized, get hypnotized, get initialized, get Mickeyized.
Get Mickey Mouse, guys. What a beautiful outro. Thank you so much, Dr. Mickey. And just a little reminder for all of you, don't forget to head down to Ira Yoga Wellness page on Facebook. And if you have not donated yet to support these charities that we are raising funds currently for here in India to help people suffering from the pandemic, make sure you guys do that and you will be entering an exciting prize giveaway. And we will get in touch with everyone who got to win Mickey's book as well during this live session. Thank you so much. My name is Greta Tigers, and stay tuned for our next session. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Ira. Thank you, Greta. Thank you.